Does it matter where MPs sit when they're in the House of Commons? It matters an awful lot to the Labour MP for Bolsover, Dennis Skinner. His usual front row seats on what's become known as the Rebels bench. They're the seats that are usually occupied by Labour's so-called awkward squad. But Mr Skinner has a fight on his hands to sit in his traditional spot. It seems that now they have 56 MPs, the Scottish National Party want a front bench of their own. And the front bench they want is the one on which Mr Skinner sits. Dennis Skinner. Hello, Dennis. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Why is it so important to you that you get to sit in the same old seat for all these years?
Well, it's not important. I'm still in the same place.
But how hard is it for you these days to secure your favoured seat? I believe you're having to rise at dawn to make sure.
Well, I've always done that. I've always put the cards in to book my place, and I've been doing it for 30-odd years. That's not new. There are only just over 300 seats in the House of Commons.
Yeah.
There are 650 members. Therefore, you can't get... there are about 16 people can get on a bench. So if two benches will only get you 32 people. But it means that there's literally 250 to 300 MPs who don't get a seat when the House is full.
What would it mean to you if you got squeezed off your favourite bench and out of your favourite seat?
Well, it's happened several times, but each time, because I'm always there every day, I get it back.
I see that, but I could also see you might want to sit in a different seat and view the chamber from a different perspective.
I've sat in a different seat many times.
Yes.
I mean, the idea that somehow or other it's been that corner seat is not exactly true.
But I believe there was an issue some years ago with David Owen over your favourite seat.
Yes, well, he wanted to sit in front of David Steele. They were joining forces, the Lib Dems and the SDP, and he wanted my seat, and he got somebody from the party officers to put his prayer card in. He was breaking the rules, and it was exposed, not by me, but by other people.
I'm going to bring Mike Weir in. He's the Scottish National Party's Chief Whip in Westminster. Mike, hello.
Hello, Vanessa.
So Dennis says he's fairly easygoing about it, but he rises at 6 and puts in his prayer card to reserve his seat. Are you trying to shove him out of his favourite seat?
No, we're not. And I've made perfectly clear that we have no intention of moving Dennis. Dennis is quite welcome to continue to sit in that seat. None of my MPs will try and take that seat from him. I've made that perfectly clear. We've been trying to negotiate a compromise with the Labour Party, but all along I've said Dennis is welcome. He's a fixture in that seat. We're not trying to move him.
So what do you want to do seat-wise? What are your seating plans?
Well, I mean, traditionally, the third party in the Commons sit on that front bench and the ones behind it. That was where the Liberals sat before they crossed the floor to join the government in the last Parliament. We consider that is a traditional third party seats. We want to have part of the front bench. We're not looking for it all. We've been trying to compromise and negotiate on that, and the two benches behind us. And as Dennis rightly pointed out, the main problem here is the Commons is simply not large enough to hold all the MPs, and to be perfectly clear, unless you're sitting on a bench within it, you cannot take part in the debates in the Commons. So it's important that we have benches we consider that our members can contribute to debates and questions within the Commons.
And so what have you decided? What's the solution to this dilemma?
Well, at the moment, there is still not a solution, but we have had, I suppose, a de facto solution on the ground, is that we've been sharing the front bench with Dennis and some of his colleagues, and we have been in the two benches behind it. I think that works quite well. I hope we can come to a permanent solution along that basis.
It doesn't sound, though, as if there is a permanent solution, because there's no such thing as a permanent seat for anyone, is there?
Well, there isn't. And well, in the rules of the Commons, you can sit anywhere apart from the government and the opposition front benches.
Yes.
So there is absolutely no seating plan. So it's up to MPs to sort out amongst themselves. And in days when the Commons is busy, Prime Minister's questions, a classic example, there are simply not enough and nearly enough seats for all those who want to be in. But, I think we can come to a reasonable compromise on the ground. I hope we will do so.
Let me just bring Dennis back in. Dennis Skinner, do you think a reasonable compromise on seating can be reached?
Oh, without a doubt, it's always happened. And yesterday it seemed to be satisfactory, and today I went in and I was in my seat again. Of course, the media and the Tory leader of the House, he said that I was being deprived of my seat, but I've known for several days that the matter has been satisfactorily resolved.
And Dennis, you don't feel like saying, well, I'll move for a few more rows back. I'll let these Scots Nats take over the whole of that front bench. They want to.
It doesn't really matter where I sit. As I said, the point is that the media don't understand or don't care to understand is there 650 MPs and realistically there's only 350 seats.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Dennis Skinner, aka the Beast of Bolsover, and Mike Weir, the Scottish National Party's Chief Whip in Westminster.